All right. Howdy, everyone. Frankie here. Newest Reset. Hello. How's it going? Welcome back. Thank you very much for shooting in, joining a fella here for another one. Another live one, as a matter of fact. New West Reset Live. Episode 136 here today on this Sunday, September the 7th, 2025. Just a wee bit past 5 p.m. local time, mountain time. As always, coming at you live from Calgary, Alberta, up in Canada land, eh? Here in Purdy, Alberta. Another lovely day here today. Not too shabby. 27 degrees Celsius. Mid to high 80s Fahrenheit. It's a beauty, eh? Got some rain coming to cool things down a bit, which should help with the wildfires. Yep, fires going on. Northern Alberta, Northwest Territories, British Columbia. You know, it's terrible. It's brutal. So be careful out there. Stay safe. Wowzers. So I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining me here. This is going to be another installment of the Old World on Celluloid. We're looking at, the obscuring, I guess, if you will, the obscuring of the old world in film. And this time it's The Shadow. This came about a couple of weeks back. My bro and I had the same day off, and it was kind of a lazy day off. It was lousy out. It was raining really hard, thunder showers or something, thunderstorms. And, if I was home alone, I would be, maybe killing the time, listening to some music or something. I don't know. But, we both had the day off, so we decided, let's pop in a movie. And then we just landed on, hey, something we haven't seen in a while. Let's throw this in. And, I hadn't seen it until I got me my new set of peepers here. The new eyes to see. Wow, very interesting. So yeah, we're going to be having a look at that. So thank you very much for joining me here. Thanks for winding down your weekend with yours truly on the Sunday Fun Day Show. Woo! If you haven't already, give a guy one of these. It just helps to push me out into the thing as we make our way to 2,000 subscribers. Almost there. Thank you to everybody who's already subscribed. Thanks to everybody who's already shared the video. If you're watching this after the live, beauty. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Say hello below. Let me know how you're doing and what's what. Make sure you're still subscribed because, YouTube and
shenanigans.
A lot of that going around, the HooTubes. And as always, we're broadcasting simultaneously live on the HooTubes and on the Bumble. So howdy to everybody on Rumble. The green fighting platform. Without further ado, let's say hello to everybody in the box. See what's going on, how everybody's doing. Vaughn is here from down under. Good to see you. G'day. Deanne in the box. Good to see you, Deanne. Somebody's hollering outside. Hey! Take it easy out there. Yeesh. Kathy Broughton is here from Kentucky, the Bluegrass State. Good to see you, Kathy. Howdy, neighbor. Wiley Metz in the box from Montana land. Good to see you there, bud. Hippie Shake in the box. Howdy, hippie. Titles. Hey, up guy outside yelling. No, I'm yelling. Turtles here. Yes. Good to see you, Title. Hello, hello, hello. Babylon Fox in the box. Stephanie is here. Howdy, Stephanie. Oh, yeah. That's fun, isn't it? Yeah, great. Sorry to hear that, but thanks for shooting in. Appreciate it. You know, hopefully you don't strain your ocular sphericals. Water the tree in the box. Howdy, bud. Good to see you. So we're going to be looking at the movie The Shadow. The Alec Baldwin joint. So thanks for joining me here. Appreciate it. Links below for everything. We're going to look at, of course, the usual suspects, the Wikipedia. We're going to also have a look at the official movie trailer for the film The Shadow. We'll take a mid-show break, and when we come back, we'll have a look at some photographs, and we'll compare some of the stuff from the film, some film stills, if you will, with some other images that they remind me of. They're reminiscent of. Spanking. I can't speak into English, apparently. Speaking of links below, everything we're going to cover, as well, New West Reset location map. You just click on that link. Opens up the goggle machine there, and wherever you see my icon on the map is where I've done boots on the ground here in Purdy, Alberta. Thanks to Cousin Vinny for setting that up and keeping a couple of eyeballs on that. Of course, all my socials where you can get a hold of a fella, email, MeWe, BitChute, the aforementioned Rumble, and PayPal if you, feel so inclined to make a small donation. Certainly not necessary, but very, very greatly appreciated. But the best way to support the channel, of course, is just to do all the things, comment and like it, the things that a million other people on YouTube tell you a million times to do. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support. What do you say we get into it here a little bit? We're looking at the obscuring of the old world in film, as mentioned, The Shadow. Let's see what the Wikipedia says about The Shadow itself as a character. Channel 53 is here. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Let's see what Wacky says about the character itself, and then we'll look at the movie more specifically as well. Just for shits and giggles and whatnot. The Shadow is a fictional character created by American magazine publishers Street and Smith and writer Walter B. Gibson. Originally created to be a mysterious radio show narrator and developed into a distinct literary character in 1931 by Gibson, The Shadow has been adapted into other forms of media, including American comic books, comic strips, serials, video games, and at least 5 feature films. The radio drama included episodes voiced by Orson Welles. You don't say. That guy likes to send people into a panic, a hysterical panic, by doing radio plays. Supposedly, we're told. So you got to watch out for that guy. That Orson Welles fella. Rosebud. Anyway. The Shadow debuted July 31st, 1930, as the mysterious narrator of the radio program Detective Story Hour, created to boost sales of Street and Smith's monthly pulp magazine Detective Story. When listeners of the program began asking at newsstands for copies of that Shadow Detective magazine, Street and Smith launched a magazine based on the character and hired Gibson to create a concept to fit the name and voice and to write a story featuring him. First issue of the pulp series, The Shadow magazine, went on sale April 1st, 1931. Really, April Fool's Day, eh? You don't say. Right during the Depression, we're going to launch a new magazine. Sure, why not? Howdy, Baja. Baja in the box. Good to see you there, bud. Martin's here as well, over on the Rumble. Good to see you, Martin. Realm Dweller joining us on the Rumble as well, by the way. Hello there, bud. On September 26, 1937, The Shadow, a new radio drama based on the character as created by Gibson for the pulp magazine, premiered with the story The Death House Rescue, in which the Shadow was characterized as having the hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so they cannot see him. In the magazine stories, the Shadow did not become literally invisible. So still going strong 6 years later, right through the height of the Depression. People jumping off buildings and whatnot, but they got new radio dramas, new magazines. The introductory line from the radio adaptation of The Shadow, who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. Spoken by actor Frank Readick, has earned a place in the American idiom. These words were accompanied by an ominous laugh, and a musical theme, Camille Saint-Saëns, Le Rouet Enfalé, Enfal spinning wheel, composed in 1872. All right, sure. Origin of the character's name to boost the sales of the detective story magazine. They hired David Chrisman of Rothrolf and Ryan advertising agency and writer-director William Sweets to adapt the magazine's stories into a radio series. So they basically, we'll just kind of breeze through this part here. So they basically developed a character. Then in 1930, The Shadow was the name given to the mysterious narrator. Initially voiced by James Lacurto, who was replaced after 4 months by prolific character actor Frank Readick Jr. Episodes were drawn from the detective story magazine issued by Street and Smith, the nation's oldest and largest publisher of pulp magazines at the time. Oh, of course. How coincidental. I guess if you're going to be surviving during the dirty 30s of the Great Depression, the oldest and largest is one of the ones to do it, I reckon. All right, creation is a distinctive literary character, so recognizing the demand and responding promptly, circulation manager Henry William Ralston of Street and Smith commissioned Walter B. Gibson to begin writing stories about the Shadow using the pen name of Maxwell Grant and claiming the stories were from the Shadow's private annals as told to him. That's kind of a cool gimmick. I don't like pen names necessarily. It makes things even more confusing and convoluted and, than they already are. You know what I'm saying? It's just one more layer than they can bamboozle us with. Gibson wrote 282 out of 325 tales over the next 20 years. Holy. A novel-length story twice a month, 1st and 15th. The first story produced was The Living Shadow, published on April Fool's 1931, April Fool's Day. Really? A novel-length story twice a month? Due on the 1st and the 15th, I guess? This guy had to write 2 novels. 2 a month. What? Is that right? Man, oh man. All right. So the foundations for the character, the Shadow, are in the archetype of the superhero, including stylized imagery and title, sidekicks, supervillains, and a secret identity, clad in black. The Shadow operated mainly after dark as a vigilante in the name of justice, terrifying criminals into vulnerability. Gibson himself claimed the literary inspirations upon which he had drawn were Bram Stoker's Dracula, ooh, scary, and Edward Bulwer Lytton's The House and the Brain. Another possible inspiration for the Shadow is the French character Judex. First episode of the original Judex film serial was released in the United States as The Mysterious Shadow, and Judex's costume is similar to the Shadow's. I don't know. Another possible. They don't even know. They're just putting it in here, and then, well, at least they put that they need a citation. I mean, a lot of people dressed in that same sort of outfit. You know, hat and long dark coat or cape or cloak or whatever, especially if he was some mysterious vigilante style hero, right? Look at Batman, same thing. Dark cape or cloak with a cowl or a mask, right? It's part of that whole fear, and he's hiding in the shadows there. Bub, what do you think? Anyway. Because the great effort involving writing of 2 full-length novels every month, several guest writers were hired to write occasional installments in order to lighten Gibson's workload. Yeah, I sure hope so. His guest writers included Lester Dent, who also wrote the Doc Savage stories, and Theodore Tinsley. In the late 40s, mystery novelist Bruce Eliot, also magician, temporarily replaced Gibson as the primary author of the Pulp series. He wrote numbers 306 through 320. This guy was a magician? Get out of here, really?
I don't believe you.
Like pulling rabbits out of hats or what? Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. So the magazine ceased publication in summer of 49 issue, but Gibson wrote 3 new official stories between 63 and 1980. First began a new series of 9 Shadow mass market paperback novels from Belmont Books. And there's a bunch of literary sequels after that, reboots, so on and so forth. Here we go. The character and the look of the Shadow gradually evolved over his lengthy fictional existence. Black business suit. Yeah, sounds about right. Black hat, wide brimmed, black fedora, crimson scarf just below his nose or across his mouth and chin. The cloak and scarf covered either a black double-breasted trench coat or a regular black suit. Yeah, if you're going to hide in the shadows, you're not going to wear bright orange, are you? No, probably not. The radio drama that debuted, even though they can't see him, Shadow does not wear a costume because he's invisible when he operates as a vigilante. Yes, the hypnotic mind control thing. Feature born out of necessity. Time constraints of the 30s at radio made it difficult to explain to listeners where the Shadow was hiding and how he remained concealed from criminals until he was ready to strike. So the character was given his invisibility. Okay, there you go. He would use his haunting voice to give them the heebie-jeebies and so on. The mysterious power to cloud men's minds so they could not see him. In the episode The Temple Bells of Nibon in 1937, the Shadow said he developed these abilities in India, specifically under the guidance of a yogi priest who was keeper of the Temple of Cobras. In Delhi. Oh my. Does not wear a mask or any disguise while invisible, and so in episodes such as the Temple Bells of Nesban, he's cautious when he meets an enemy who could potentially disrupt his hypnotic abilities, exposing his true face and instantly making him visible target for attack. So yeah, I guess depending on where he is and what's going on, And as the story progressed, he started, the character evolved, changed a little bit. It's not the first time. It's bound to happen. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for shooting in there, bud. So yeah, he's a vigilante called the Shadow, and hunts down, often violently confronts criminals armed with a Colt 45, and sometimes using magician tricks to convince his prey that he's supernatural. One such trick is the Devil's Whisper. Oh, yikes. Ooh, look out now. A chemical compound on the thumb and forefinger, causing a flash of bright flame and sharp explosion when he snaps his fingers. Why would you call it a whisper then? Why wouldn't you call it the devil's spark or the devil's flame? Anyway, the Shadow is also known for wearing a gyrosol ring. I've never heard of that. The purple stone, sometimes depicted as a red stone in cover artwork, given to Allard by the Tsar of Ruski Land, the Romanov jewels, 1932, during WW1. The ring is later said to be one of two rings made with gemstones taken from the eyes of an idol made by the Zenka tribe. I don't know. The Shadow Unmasks, 1937. Lamont Cranston was his alter ego, a wealthy young man about town. In the pulps, Cranston is a separate character, rich playboy who travels the world while the Shadow uses his identity and resources in New York. Shadow's disguise as Cranston works well because the two men resemble each other. So at first he's basically disguised to look like Cranston, and later the character evolves and changes to that. Well, no, that's his alter ego, like Bruce Wayne and Batman, or Clark Kent Superman. Peter Parker and Spiderman there. Anyways, it's very interesting. Anyways, if you scroll down, again, link below, it's got a list of supporting characters and enemies. Genghis Khan, holy moly. And we'll hear more about him. So link below for the Wikipedia of the character of the Shadow himself. Once again, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it as always. Let's see what we got going on here now with the Wikipedia says about the film itself. 1994 film, The Shadow. Apparently there was half a dozen others over the years, so something like that. There's a few. It's kind of a cool character, very Batman-ish, or I should say Batman is very the Shadow-ish. I think Shadow seems to have been developed prior to Batman in terms of as a literary character. But so The Shadow, the movie that is a 1994 American superhero film from Universal Pictures, produced by Martin Bregman, Willie Bear, really, and Michael Scott Bregman. It's directed by Russell Mulcahy. It stars Alec Baldwin, supported by John Lone, Penelope Ann Miller, Penelope, Peter Boyle, Ian McKellen, old Gandalf himself, speaking of magicians, Jonathan Winters, oh, there he is, classic funny man, and Tim Curry, a very underrated, very, very talented actor who plays very odd roles, and he's excellent at it. I like Tim Curry. He's played some doozies. Anyways, the film is based on the pulp film fiction character of the same name, created in 1931. Walter B. Gibson, yada, yada, yada. The film was released to theaters July 1st. Canada Day. That's our birthday up in Canada land. Anyways, July 1st, 1994. Received mixed reviews and was a commercial failure. Oh, it flopped. Sorry. It's going to happen. It's going to happen once in a while, right? The plot. Following WW1, Lamont Cranston sets himself up as a controlled substance kingpin and warlord in Tibet. The Tulku, a holy man who exhibits psychic abilities, abducts Cranston and offers him a chance to become a force for good. Cranston initially refuses and is attacked by the Tulku's Purba. Purba, a mystical flying dagger. Ultimately, Cranston becomes the Tulku's student and develops psychic abilities of his own, including how to hypnotize others and bend their perceptions so that he becomes invisible, save for his shadow, hence the name of the character. She has a sister named Cantaloupe. Yeah, Penelope, your sister Cantaloupe. Bunch of jackasses. Oh, man. Cranston returns to New York City 7 years later and resumes his former life as a wealthy playboy while secretly operating as the Shadow, a vigilante who terrorizes the city's underworld. He recruits some of those he saves from criminals to act as his agents, providing him with information and specialist knowledge. His identity is largely unknown, especially to his uncle Wainwright, who happens to be the police commissioner of New York, whom he has to regularly hypnotize in order to keep the police from interfering with him. Cranston's secret identity is endangered upon meeting Margot Lane, a socialite who is also telepathic. Yes, and his uncle's played by Jonathan Winters. Shiwan Khan, a powerful rogue protege of the Tulku, arrives in New York inside Genghis Khan's sarcophagus. Oh, look out now. As Kong's last descendant, Shiwan plans to fulfill his ancestors' ambitions of world domination. He proposes an alliance to Cranston, who refuses. After acquiring a rare coin from Khan, Cranston learns that it is made of bronzium, metal that could be used for nuclear fission. Really? Nuclear fission, eh? There's a lot going on. And that Margot's father, Reinhardt, a scientist working on energy research for the War Department, has become uncharacteristically reclusive and aloof. Really, a scientist, reclusive and aloof? Huh, okay. And that's odd, is it? Cranston deduces that Khan has compelled Reinhardt to create an atomic boom boom. Oh no. So, of course, Khan hypnotizes Margot and commands her to delete the shadow. Cranston breaks Khan's hypnotic hold on her, but she learns his secret identity. Uh-oh. Cat's is out of the bag. Reinhardt's assistant, Farley Claymore, allies with Khan to produce a working boom boom, which Khan uses to hold New York ransom. The Shadow eventually discovers Khan's location, the luxurious Hotel Monolith, a building that Khan has rendered forgotten and invisible to the city's inhabitants. I'll say it again. It's a building that has been rendered forgotten and invisible to the city's inhabitants. They just walk by. Don't even notice it. Don't even give it a second look. No side-eyed glances, no double takes, no stop and take a picture, nothing. It's like it's not even there. Entering the hotel for a showdown with Khan, the Shadow is subdued by the Purba before he turns it against Khan, disrupting Khan's hypnotic control over Reinhardt and the city, while Margot and Reinhardt disarm the Boom Boom. The Shadow pursues Khan through the hotel and defeats him by telekinetically hurling a broken shard of glass into his frontal lobe. Oh, that'll leave a mark. That's going to need an aspirin or something. Kind of like the Golden Child. Yeah, sort of, right? Very similar. Another word. You know what? I'm gonna put a pin in that, buddy. New VM. I'm putting a pin in that. That's one to have a look at. The Golden Child. So Khan awakens in the padded cell of a mental hospital. Oh, really? A mental hospital, eh? Okay. One of the doctors tells Khan that they were able to save his life by removing part of his brain, nullifying Khan's psychic abilities. Wah, wah. Before walking away and revealing the ring of a ring the Shadow gives to his agents. Cranston and Margot begin a relationship and join forces to fight the criminal underworld. Oh, there you go. So the doctor in the mental hospital is wearing a ring the Shadow gives to all of his helpers. Very, very interesting. So then there's your cast: Alec Baldwin, Penelope, Peter Boyle, Ian, Tim Curry, so on and so forth. So yeah, link below. Again, the Wikipedia. And as a reminder, I just use the Wikipedia because it's a quick, easy reference that most normies, that's what they kind of go to when they want to, I guess I could have just as easily put the link for IMDb in there, but it's going to be the same. Besides, I like to kind of make fun of the Wikipedia anyways. Yeah, definitely a good movie. I like that one. Eddie Murphy. He's good in that. I said, I want the knife. Please. It's good stuff, man. What do you say we have a quick peekaboo at the official trailer here for this thing? What do you say? What do you think? The official movie trailer for The Shadow. 1994.
He was consumed by evil.
For as long as you can remember, you've struggled against your own black heart.
Shoot through him.
Can you hear that okay, everyone? Hear it and see it okay? Let me know. Thumbs up in the box, in the chat. 5x5. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy says 5x5. Water the tree. Thumbs up. Thank you. All right. Perfect. Perfect.
Man pays the price for redemption.
I'm not looking for redemption.
You have no choice. But I will teach you to use your black shadow to fight evil.
He became the Shadow.
I didn't see anything.
Gotta tell you, for kind of a fledgling, quote unquote, superhero film, because it's not like the big crazy MCU Marvel Avengers, Iron Man stuff going on from 10-15 years ago. Those kind of fell off toward the end. Not as good quality, but the production value on this is pretty good. As mentioned, this whole topic came about because on just kind of a rainy day off, my bro and I just decided, let's pop in this. We haven't seen it in a long time. And you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a CGI slugfest. It's definitely got some cool intrigue and mystery to it. The acting's fine. The story is fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it as a good sort of a lazy, laying around rainy afternoon kind of a movie,
Dump him.
Who's there?
There it is. There's that laugh.
Did you think you'd get away with it? Did you think I wouldn't know?
Why isn't that called the Devil's Whisper? The ability to hide in the shadows, but throw his voice or alter his voice. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when the world is in danger, report.
Got some cool tech on here too. Did you see that? A little bit of a I don't know, I guess a Zoom call, 1930s Zoom call tech,
Report.
and then these vacuum tubes where you could send messages not only between floors of a building but also from one building to another, or between many buildings.
Investigation of murder. Agent advises inquiry.
Who knows what powers stir in the night?
Whatever you did.
That was the sarcophagus too. Ooh, scary.
It's in the past.
Join me. Inside you beats a heart of darkness.
Oh, he was hypnotizing somebody there with the highlighted eyes. When they highlight the eyes, there's going to be some hypnotizing going on. There it is. He's bamboozling somebody's brain with his mystical Eastern powers that he earned from a yogi priest.
Beats a heart of darkness.
I do what I do to fight back the evil inside me, but some part of it is still there, waiting.
Genghis Khan conquered half of the world in his lifetime. I intend to finish the job.
And when the adventure begins,
Activate the bomb.
who knows where it will end?
Yeah, that's right. It's one of those archetypal stories, right? Batman, same thing, or at least in the film version, much like this film version of The Shadow, where Bruce Wayne is locked up in I don't know if it's Chinese or Mongolian prison or something, and gets his freedom so he can redeem himself.
Alec Baldwin, John Lone, Penelope Ann Miller, and
Hey, Penelope.
Tim Curry. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow.
So there it is, the official trailer for 1994's The Shadow. Hippie shakes his goodness. How haven't I seen this film before? It's not bad, I would give it like, I don't know, 6.5, 7 out of 10. Maybe it's better than a lot of the newer, more recent quote unquote superhero movies, comic book hero movies. Most people have had their fill of those long ago anyways, but the downward spiral of the quality of those hasn't helped. Neil Riem says, I've got it on tape. Wow, on videotape, eh? Nice, nice. Lord of Tree says, I vaguely remember this movie. It's got a lot of Eastern philosophy references in it. It's got a lot of references, like, again, to Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan, however you want to say it. I don't care, however it's pronounced. It gets into a little bit of the Mongolian thing. It gets into, of course, the criminal underworld that rises up in the 1930s as people are getting more and more desperate. Absolutely. Morgan's called it The Shadow. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for shooting in. So yeah, I mean, I'd recommend it. It's much better than a lot of what Marvel's been putting out lately. Oh, train going by outside. Anyway, we're coming up close to the hour here. It's creeping up on 3/4 of an hour into the show here. Sounds to me like a good time to take a mid-show break, give you a sneak peek at your upcoming midweek vintage footage. If you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Howdy. Good to see you. Thanks for shooting in. Welcome, welcome. But also, and as a reminder, I've been around here for a while. Every Wednesday, I upload a vintage footage video. I just find some old timey footage, edit some music to it. That goes up Wednesday, and Sunday you get a preview of that, and then every Friday, boots on the ground video. Today's no exception. So let me get this thing ready to go for you here, and it's a short one. It's 3 minutes long, but it's a good one. Short but sweet. Pretty much 3 minutes on the button. This is a Paved Paradise. So smoke them if you got them. Put your ear goggles on. Turn her up to 11. And we'll see you on the other side of 3 minutes. All right? Thanks, everyone. Stick around. We'll be right back. Cheers.
Put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. They charge the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away the DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, or leave me the birds and the bees. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. I said, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
All right, and we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Frankie here. New West Reset Live, episode 136, The Old World on Celluloid. We're looking at 1994's The Shadow. So for this evening's show, we're looking at the obscuring of the old world in film. The first episode of this series here on the live show, The Old World on Celluloid, we looked at Pinocchio, which was very, very interesting. And we found some interesting little nuggets in the top half of the show here as well, I think. So thank you very, very much once again for shooting in, joining a fella here. Please do all the things. Help a fella out. Appreciate it as always. And welcome. Sunday Fun Day. Here we go. Rothrod's in the box. Good to see you. Howdy, howdy. Channel 53 is here. Kathy Broughton, Water the Tree. Our buddy Vaughn here as well. Morgan is in the box. Good to see you. Thanks, everybody. Shooting in and winding down your weekend. Yes. Joni Mitchell, a Canadian, eh? Great song. I agree, Hippie. Hippie Shake in the box. Yep. So the top half of the show, we looked at the Wikipedia for not only the character of the Shadow himself, but the film. So links below for all of that. Again, links below for how you can get a hold of a fella and everything after the fact. Appreciate that. Battlestar's here. Battlestar Utarian. Hello. We also had a look at the official trailer, and as mentioned, movies. I mean, it's not The Godfather or anything. It's not going to win any Academy Awards. It did say it got some mixed reviews and was poorly received, and basically was a financial flop. But that doesn't mean it's a terrible movie. There's terrible movies that make billions of bucks in the box office, baby. And then there's fantastic movies that barely squeak out a dime. It's not a very good metrics necessarily all the time. It's not bad. 6.5, 7 out of 10. You know, good story, fine acting, great special effects. It's not a computer CGI, bright colors flashing in your face kind of a movie. Practical effects and camera effects, that kind of a thing. So yeah, very cool. Anyway. Got some photographs here to look at because there's a couple of items of interest in the movie. If you'll recall, I'm sure you do, the article regarding the film was the villain, the descendant of Genghis Khan, bamboozles the city with some mind melding or something, some kind of hypnotic. Anyways, he makes everybody forget that his evil lair in this hotel exists. He's wiped it from their memories and he's made it completely invisible to everybody in the city. So that item is of great interest to me. You know, old building in a movie. And also this dagger that they keep talking about. This mystical dagger. Stephanie Babylon Fox in the box says Christmas Story was a flop. Yeah, and look at that. It's become a classic. Right? There's a lot of movies that were flopped. Hell, I mentioned The Godfather earlier. That did not do very well. Initially, took a while to get rolling. You can imagine that. So, you know, it just goes to show, man. Just goes to show. Anyways, let's see what's going on here. So as mentioned, Alec Baldwin and Penelope Ann Miller takes place in the 30s, which is kind of odd because, again, you know, it's supposed to be the Great Depression, the dirty 30s. Howdy, Pat. Good to see you. I saw you sneaking in there, Pat. Hello, welcome. It was supposed to be the dirty 30s, right? The Great Depression, but a lot of glitz and glamour. But I guess he is supposed to be some, rich man about town playboy, much like the Bruce Wayne Batman character. So look at this in the back with this arched ceiling here with this keystone or capstone on it. Very fancy. Lovely detailed archwork here that has kind of a modular effect or like a ribbed effect. The seldom seen unscrubbed cartouche. What's going on here? Kind of crazy design in that. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Look at this fireplace, man. Kidding me? Yeah, absolutely. Just all of the decor in general, right? Look at this. This carved wood here with this dental work. Exquisite. Everything is just exquisite. And then look at this. This is sort of the underground portion of the structure. Look at this, will you? This kind of scalloped effect here. Quite amazing. Arch upon arch upon arch. Crazy looking statues and stuff. Very reminiscent of cathedrals, churches, with the arches and the extreme height of the ceilings. It's an interesting pattern in the carpeting here. Just noticing these back here too as well. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of what I was thinking. So the story does take place in New York. It's the Cobalt Club where the man about town, the Shadow's alter ego, hangs out. I'm just going to call him Cranston, but not Brian. You can see some of the buildings in the background. Of course, we're very familiar with a lot of the hallmarks of the old world in New York. This is another still shot from the film itself. This is some weird water container thing for the film. This, I think, might be a matte painting. Not entirely sure. Newwestreset in the chat, in the box earlier, asked if it was in studio, all these interior shots. I'm not 100% sure if these are filmed on a soundstage or if they're on location somewhere. Excellent question. I should have looked into that. But anyways, I'm not concerned with this goofy stuff. I'm just more concerned with this gloriousness in the background. Of course, with all the tech on it, right? Of course, the bridge. So it's a very familiar scene, even to just, the normies, right? This wasn't here at all, obstructing some of the other buildings. Most folks would know that this is New York City. I don't know why this had a blue filter on it, but it's another shot from the film, another still. You can see, again, some of the remnants here, and even in this, in the foreground, some of the details. You've got this in the back, right? And then this is supposed to be the hotel monolith that has been made invisible, if I'm not mistaken. There's another great shot of, New York, essentially, right? The Brooklyn Bridge, the East River. Look at this. just outstanding. Not to mention all this block stonework here. It's quite incredible. You know, and then you add all of this up to the top and the details, and, you know. Sure, we've all looked at bridges like these and kind of scratched our heads a little bit, you know, we were like,
That doesn't make sense.
It also reminded me some of those stills from the movie and just what was going on in the background scenes in the movie. As I was watching it, reminded me of a couple of other city skylines. Like this is Cincinnati, Ohio here. Looking very similar, right? This beautiful stone bridge, a lot more extravagant on the top here. It's quite incredible. But again, the massive stone and block work here. And then these bands here and just the upper details. And you've got, you know, some of these beautiful buildings in the background here. Look at this one. Look at this. They got silly with whatever this is up here. It's perhaps a star shape or something. I don't know. But they went bonkers. Oh, and even this one here, look. So I'm sure with a matte painting, if that was indeed matte painting in the background of the shadow, which I think it is. It's definitely not digital painting. Sam Steele's here. Oh, it's a pile of dirt. I thought that was a hole or a tunnel for a second. Anyway, this is Newark, New Jersey. Again, some of these buildings you see in that, I think, again, as I was saying, the matte painting. It's a physical painting. The artist, I think, can exercise a little bit of creative freedoms. Maybe add in some buildings that aren't in, you know, quote unquote, real world New York, even though the story's supposed to take place in New York. And kind of make it a little bit more centered in the fantasy world, you know, based on pulp novels and comic books, right? So, and radio serials. So maybe buildings like this inspired some of the scenes in the background for the cityscape. So this is in the film, the Hotel Monolith, or the Monolith Hotel. You can see there's a lot of figures here and statues and crazy designs on this thing and massive stonework. Sorry, this isn't the best photograph, but there's some figures here of elephants, tusked elephants, excuse me. Howdy, Annie. Orphan Annie in the box. Happy Sunday, folks. Happy Sunday to you, Annie. Good to see you. Thanks for shooting in. Yeah, even up here, too. This kind of inlay work or something going on up here. Relief work, these carvings. Not to mention, you know, this border work here. But that Hotel Monolith, you know, with the figures on it, reminded me a little bit of buildings like this, the Boston United Methodist Church. You know, if you picture this as a tower and you maybe not take into account these wings that flank either side, and you just think of the center portion here with this tippy-top tower and then these figures, you know, and the crazy inlay design work. Definitely has that Art Deco flair of the 20s and 30s. Here's a close-up of those figures from that Boston United. Yeah, it is pretty badass. I agree. Channel 53 says that recessed stonework is pretty BA. Absolutely. Yeah, hippie shake. Wow. Yep. Yep. Here's the Eastern Columbia building. LA. I don't know if that's Los Angeles or if that's... I guess it wouldn't be Louisiana, would it? Because it would be Narlands. So I guess this is Los Angeles, California, Eastern Columbia building. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just a naive, sheltered Canadian, eh? You can see the sort of, it's kind of blocky, but it's also very stylized and very angular. And it does have a lot of interesting detail in it. So it's perhaps a pyramidal shape on the top, maybe some monkeying around going on up here at some point. It's definitely been monkeying around with this. But this is quite interesting here too. Again, very Art Deco, sure. But that's the time period of the movie. So a structure like this, again, could be influential, shall we say, in the overall design. And something that people would, according to the subplot of the movie, of the hotel monolith being made invisible and forgotten for everyone who lives in the city. You could see why something like this eventually would become almost invisible to people as they're whipping by in the bus or the cabs. Especially once they start doing shenanigans like this. It's the General Electric building in New York City. Look at this. Come on, man. And it's not just this, the obvious stuff. Right? It's all of this here. All of this nonsense. Exquisite. It's hard to tell here, but this is all curved. These are like curved little turret things. Not to mention that it's six-sided. Yeah, but then it's got these little curved portions, and then all of this detail, and again, the figures, whatever these are. I agree. Water the Tree says, wowza, that's a beaut. Yeah, absolutely a beaut. Howdy, Scott. Scott Pike in the box. Peace, everyone. Good to see you there, bud. Here's a close-up of one of those figures, and then just, again, all of this going on. And then in behind it, too. They all alternate between brick and some kind of masonry or stone or something here. Concrete, whatever. We've got all this going on down here. Portals, stylized fleur-de-lis here, I'm guessing, or lily or something. I don't know. Just my impression of what it is. PCS World in the box. Howdy, howdy. Good to see you. I agree, yeah. Morgan says just so immense. That's the thing, right? Vincent in the box. I know what evil lurks in the hearts of men. Good to see you, Cousin Vinny. Cousin Vinny over here. Oh, welcome back. Just landed back in Calgary. Good to see you there, bud. Good to see you. Cousin Vinny over here. Huh? Everybody say hello to Cousin Vinny, because you get Frankie Fingers, you're going to get Cousin Vinny, eh?
So now you know what I'm talking about with the whole New West Reset thing.
No.
What?
No.
What I said about Frankie Fingers. The Frankie Fingers and New West Reset are the same.
Wait, what? Another shot of some of these buildings here in the background. I'm not a New Yorker, so I don't know. So I don't know if this building still exists, but that's very interesting. Again, with a pyramidal shape on top. This looks like it's got something fancy going on. This one's a little bit more familiar to a fella. This one's interesting too. But yeah, I don't know. But it's these. This is Lamont Cranston's home here in the film. And they say it was inspired by some highfalutin rich person historically, some real fat cat's house in real life. Vanderbilt, I believe. But look at this. Arched windows. So this, I'm guessing, is a matte painting. This whole background is a matte painting or something. If this was designed for the film and was inspired by the Vanderbilt house. This ether fencing on top and this techie crazy shenanigans going on with the turret on it, you know. If it is a matte painting, did a fantastic job. Here's another one. Here's its neighbor. Of course, it's walled and gated, and, you know, on big pieces of land, all landscaped, trees and shrubbery and whatnot. Shrubbery! But nonetheless, he said it was inspired by this. Cornelius Vanderbilt, built in 1883, demolished in 1926, by the way. Look at this thing. New York City. Come on, man. Oh, yeah, it's just my house. Yeah, come on in. Have a seat. Can I get you something? It just keeps going here, too. Like it goes right out of frame. And there's another big, huge house right here, too, in the background. Just, come on, man. But it's absolutely jaw-droppingly beautiful. I mean, that is a beaut right there. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it is a shame. I mean, it's not up for very long, is it? Not up for very long at all. Yep, dang, that's a house. You said it, Kathy. Yeah. This is the Astor house. Even this, look at this one too. Come on. Kidding me? Got some low windows down here though, so we better put a fence so no dumbasses fall down, I guess. But look at all this. The mansard roof and just all of this dental molding and dog's tooth and sawtooth design and just the, I mean, come on. Come on, man. Let's have a dormer here with a pediment and then another dormer here and here above it. Get out of here. That nonsense, will ya? Capitals. Ooh, wee. That's all I got to say is ooh, wee. I mean, that's fantastic. You raise a good point, though, Baja. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live literally on a city block, says Baja. Yeah. It's a lot of vacuuming and dusting and mopping and cleaning. Not to mention, you know, you could be just chilling it over here in your library, reading a book or something or whatever, listening in your music room, listening to the radio or playing an instrument, whatever you're doing, right? And somebody could be breaking in and stealing stuff out of the other side of the house and you wouldn't even hear them. You wouldn't even notice. It's just another shot of it a little closer. Meanwhile, you know, this crap going on in the front, but all down the block. Look at this stuff. All down the block, man. Absolutely outstanding. And then, of course, you know, cobblestone, brick street, some kind of stone or something. Outstanding. So here's the dagger from the movie. Ooh, look out, man. Horrific. Ooh. Got some cool details on it, though, right? The skulls and whatnot. I don't know what it's made of, so I don't know. It could be plastic made to look like it's brass and steel. Or it could be that it is made of brass. I don't know. Even the chair in the background. Come on, man. So that's what Cranston had to wrestle with in the film, because the villain was mind controlling this thing to attack him. Yeah. Well, and this is inspired by actual daggers too. This is a Tibetan dagger. You can see here all this detail. Looks like gold, silver, and bronze, maybe? I don't know for sure. That's just a guess. Oof. Looking a bit like Pazuzu from The Exorcist. Yikes. Looking very Pazuzu-ish. There's another one. This one's multi-faced, multifaceted, if you will. Some kind of jewelry or earring or something, I guess. But look at this. Teeth are probably ivory or something, you know? Crazy. Pretty nice carved work here. That's exquisite. I'm guessing the whole thing is wood of some kind. Or maybe some kind of softer stone that's polished and carved. I don't know. And this is the last one. Look at this thing. Get a load of this thing, will you? Tibetan ceremonial dagger. Look at all of these stones inlaid in here. All this fine work. Up underneath here, too, we'll put some stones. And then we're just going to have this sort of beaded design here. Some kind of beaded or rope design all around here. Not to mention all of this is all beaded. Inside here, florals and curly cues. And come on, man. Come on, man. Absolutely breathtaking. I mean, this is pretty. This is beautiful. Look at this. Come on, man. I don't care if it's not perfectly straight. Maybe the picture's taken at a funny angle. Maybe they used it in a few ceremonies and it got a little, you know, a little hitch in its giddy up. I don't know. But come on. I mean, it's large beadwork here and then smaller on each, flanking each side right there. Okay. Come on. I'd kiss my teeth at you. Get out of here. Tisk. And then what is this? Fish scales or some kind of scallop work? Get out of here. This is outstanding. Twisted design looking like some licorice. A licorice stick. Man, oh man. Yeah, that's turquoise, right? I think that is turquoise in there. Rothrod's says, I like that turquoise. Yeah, completely ceremonial. Absolutely. Channel 53 saying that is purely decorative. Yeah, but decorated for the sake of being decorated, right? Notice how this is all rusted to rat shit, but this is all still just beautiful. I don't know what's going on up here. I don't know if that's some kind of gemstone or if that's glass. I don't know. If you know, let me know. Comment your comment in the comments, as the kids would say. But yeah, this thing's just jaw-dropping. Yeah, it's clear, right? I don't know. I don't know. Pretty amazing. Yeah, I agree, Morgan. Wow. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. I mean, that's just a couple of images that I grabbed from the interwebs. I mean, you just type in Tibetan ceremonial dagger in any search engine and search by image, and you'd sit there for hours. It's incredible. So there you go. That is going to do it. I think I'm getting ready to wind this thing down here for the old world on celluloid. The Shadow, 1994's The Shadow. You know, this evening's show was basically, we were looking at the obscuring of the old world in film. And this one was a bit meta, not only when you look closely at the film or watch it in slow-mo with the, when they show background scenes or, some of these old buildings in the foreground, you get to see the old world basically hidden in plain sight. But then within the movie itself, part of the premise is that an old world building is literally being obscured to the public. I thought to myself, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I never thought about that the first time I saw this movie when it first came out. I'm pretty sure I saw this in the theaters in the 90s. So, and I also have it on DVD. Not Blu-ray, but DVD. DVD's fine for, a movie in the 90s. What do you need Blu-ray for? Notice all the, the dodgy stuff from the 90s? I don't want to notice that. DVD's close enough. You got it on VHS tape, even better. Have it on both. That way nobody monkeys with it, too. I have a digital copy in the cloud. That's crap. Because you could just all of a sudden, boop, it's gone. That's no good. Get yourself a physical copy of whatever media it is you enjoy. Books, comic books, music, movies, whatever it is. Tapestries. I don't know. Stamps, right? Does anybody even collect stamps anymore? I don't know. Nobody hardly ever uses stamps because hardly anybody uses snail mail anymore. So I guess that's that. Rothrod says, we found a bunch of cool blocks behind the divide on Canada. Got a video on the Highline Trail. Nice. By the divide, by the way, he means the Continental Divide in the Rocky Mountains between, it's in British Columbia. I was going to say between British Columbia and Alberta, but no, it's actually once you cross into British Columbia, I believe. Or is it the border? I don't know. It's right there in my own backyard, and I don't even know, for pity's sakes. Anyway, before I go, let's see what's what here. Kathy's Corner, as it's affectionately known now. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, this one. This one Kathy sent my way. It speaks for itself. I'm just going to roll it. Yeah, you got to toss the nub. That nub is no good to anybody. The birds will get it or whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's cucumber, right? It's not a chunk of poison. Just sitting there watching him intently. Yeah. See, not only do you have to put a little salt on it, you got to put, not only do you have to put salt on it, you got to put a lot of salt on it, right from the salt shaker. But you also have to have a ridiculously large salt shaker. Don't just grab the one from, the back of the, the stovetop, right? The dial panel, right? No, that's not good enough. You gotta have its own separate sitting down and snacking salt shaker. Oh, man. And then just take a huge bite. Sure, why not? It's pretty normal, right? I mean, come on. This is the little slap at the end. That's the best. Good to see you, 17 Joy. Thanks for shooting in there, bud. How you doing? What else do I got here? One more. I think this one actually, Hippies shared this one, I think.
Pulled over, he told the cop that he identifies as a cat. But what the cop said next will make you respect them.
That's my
All right, here we go.
preferred method of identification.
And this is?
It's a cat collar. I'm currently identifying as a cat.
Okay. Well, look, we can do this the hard way if you'd like. I can have this car towed because last I checked, a cat is not licensed to operate a motor vehicle in the state of California. We can have animal control come get you, take you to a shelter where your owner can retrieve you for a fee of $70 after you're given the necessary immunizations, which
for a fee of $70.
Do include a rabies shot, possibly even spayed or neuter, whichever you prefer or identify with.
If this is real, bless the sheriff or whoever, whatever he is.
No, I don't have $70.
I can also...
Of course you don't have $70. Anybody who identifies... anyway.
Request that a mental health care professional come down here on scene and do an evaluation of you because you're considering letting him take a rabies shot rather than just give me an ID, use some manners so I can give you your ticket and move along.
We need more cops like this.
Oh boy, it's classic. It's good stuff right there. Come on now. Anyway, that's gonna do it. That is gonna seal the deal here. Frankie, New West Reset Live, episode 136, The Old World on Celluloid, The Shadow. Once again, I really appreciate you taking the time to join me here. Thanks again for winding down your weekend. Happy Sunday to you, or Monday, or whatever the case may be. Don't forget to do all the things. And until the next one, take care out there. Have yourselves a good one. Keep it locked on here to the channel. By the way, Reset 1700. There's stuff. There's things. So, yeah. Thanks a lot. Take care.
It's a mystery! It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma!